What do Falcons do? Rise up. Welcome to Rise Up Reactions, the show where we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general, the sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, the Golden Hard Doc, and a lifelong sports fan, coming back to you real quick with a preview of what I think we need to do to beat the Arizona Cardinals this week, going out west to the Arizona Cardinals to play against Kyler Murray, coming back off of an injury that's kept him out from the end of last year all the way to week 10 of this year. I just keep wondering, are we going to find new and embarrassing ways to lose? James Conner is also coming back, so they're going to be at full steam on their offense, and they were already not a god-awful team with Josh Dobbs at the helm, who just came in and played backyard football and beat the bejesus out of what should be a good Atlanta defense. Now, again, we are without Grady Jarrett, the heart and soul of this defense, for the rest of the year. With that said, we do have great guys like Onyemata and Calais Campbell, both of whom have been on the injury report, and Onyemata, after being limited practice for a couple of days here, is now questionable to play. I do think he will play. If he doesn't, then, we do have a little bit of depth there. That'll probably be fine, but it does make me a little bit worried. Calais Campbell is not going anywhere. He is definitely going to be playing. The two guys that we do know are going to be out for the Falcons are D. Alford, who suffered an ankle injury this past week, and then also Matt Collins. Thankfully, Drake London, who is basically the focal point from a wide receiver standpoint, is going to be with us. Kyle Pitts had a personal issue come up earlier this week. He's not listed on the injury report anymore, so he probably is going to be out there, so I don't think we're going to have any trouble there. But we definitely are going to be without Hollins and Alford, and I'm not sure about Onyemata at this point. And then with the Cardinals, again, we know that Kyler Murray is making his debut. We know that James Conner is likely going to be back. He was limited practice all week, but probably going to be back with them. You've got a couple of guys that we know are out in Tristan Colon, who is one of their centers, and then Imaro Demercado, who has been a backup running back for him. He's out this week as well. They've got a bunch of questionable guys here. Will Hernandez is questionable. Cameron Thomas at the linebacker position, as well as Zeke Turner, Michael Wilson, wide receiver, Josh Swaim, actually, tight end, and then another Carter O'Donnell guard. So they've got some injuries that they're working through. And look, here's the thing. This is a bad team. This is not a good team. Even with Kyler Murray coming back, this is a team that probably is not expecting to win more than 4 or 5 games this entire rest of the year. We're already halfway through, and they've only won 1. So look at their schedule ahead and tell me, other than the Falcons, unfortunately, who are going to them, who else are they going to win against? Who are they really going to be favored against? Kyler Murray gives them a little bit of an X factor, but they no longer have all the weapons that they did when Kyler was at his best. And we know that they're a team that's probably going to be looking to move on from Kyler at the end of the season. This is probably a really good opportunity for Arthur Smith to potentially get to know Kyler Murray and maybe have a talk with him about his future once he inevitably gets cut from, or gets traded, rather, from the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know that I love that idea for the Falcons. Not because of a money standpoint, because I think that there are some, I hate to say character issues, because that's always used in a very negative connotation in the NFL. It's been used as a bad R word thing for the NFL for years. I will say that I am concerned about the focus of Kyler Murray, and I think that is legitimate based on the narratives that have come out about him in the recent past. I do think that's a fair argument to make about him. I do think he's a very talented guy. There's a reason he was taken number 1 overall. But again, the Falcons, we're going to have to run the ball. We're going to have to find ways to get creative. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what Arthur Smith is doing. You've got all 3 of your primary weapons back, and you've got Taylor Heineke, who theoretically is a better quarterback than Desmond Ridder. There is not a good reason on paper that we should ever lose this game. There was not a good reason on paper that we should have ever lost the Vikings game. But we found a way to do it. I don't know what's going on with this team. I still have no confidence going into this week. I'll show you my video on the pick'ems. That'll be at the end of this one, so feel free to watch it. I don't have a lot here. This is going to be a very short video. Thank you to the 195 of you who have subscribed to me. It means the world to me. I am just hopeful that the Falcons find a way to turn around and go 5-5 going into our bye week next week. Probably going to be a really light week on videos for me next week. May have a couple of things coming out on other topics. Unless we lose, in which case I may be raising Cain and raising hell about what we need to be doing for the future, man. If we lose this week, I'm going to start doing some mock drafts. But I have held off because we're still in it, and I still have hope that this team, as good as they are on paper, that this 3-year plan that we've heard so much about from Arthur Smith is actually going to come to fruition and not turn into the 3-year plan that never was. Because right now the 3-year plan looks exactly like year 2 and year 1 of the 3-year plan, and that is not a good thing. So thank you for everybody for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the season. I'm not on pace to do that, but if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, it would really help me out. I'm very close to 200 right now, so that's another little small goal that I have. Would be really amazing to hit 200 this year before the end of the season as well. But thank you to everybody, and as always, rise up.